Boom!
Woo!
Welcome into episode 4
Wow.
of Not Just Sports. I'm your host, Justin Scott.
And I am Steph Forrester.
Peace, love, and welcome to the first guest episode ever.
Yeah, we have a special treat for everybody later.
And we're not going to reveal who it is.
No, it's a secret. Well,
Surprise.
Oh, it does say in the outline.
True. It's my father,
Yeah,
the one and only Bill Scott.
Bill Scott.
A man who was interested in radio back in the day and was always told that he had a good radio voice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you also are told that you have a good radio voice by the public.
Quite flattered by it, yes. We're going to bring Bill on towards the end of the show for a 10 to 15 minute segment.
Yeah, a quick little guest appearance.
Yep, he's going to talk a little bit about his favorite team and sport, the Red Sox. And I'm going to ask him some random questions that he doesn't see coming. So,
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah, it'll be cool to get his reactions. So we're on a little bit of a time crunch here. We got to make a movie in an hour. We're going to see Saw 10.
I've never seen any of the Saws.
Nor have
you?
I.
I haven't.
We don't want to rush, of course. We want to give you guys the best show that we can, and we're going to do that. But we're going to try to keep things a little bit quicker than usual.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
We'll be good.
Well, how about we go through the rundown?
Well, let's see what we have today. So, we're going to do bets first this time, which is a little out of order, a little unorthodox.
Can I tell you why?
Sure.
Because we need to change the fortune. We need to get a winner, so we're going to move it in position of the show.
That's going to, yeah, okay. Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help. But yeah, so we're going to change the fortune this week. We're going to do bets first. Then we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to do some run talk on here and talk about the marathon that we ran almost exactly a year ago. Just give our thoughts, our reflections.
Which is crazy. That was a year ago.
How we've changed. Yeah, a year ago. Crazy. Insanity. Then, you know the drill. The week 4, top 10. And then we're going to meet Bill. And that's the show this week. So, yeah.
Little couple surprise things in there. Maybe only one, but a little new segment that
yeah.
Some people are going to find hilarious and some are going to be like, what the hell? But
we're going to throw in a tiny little basketball jabber in there, too. We have one thing that we do have to talk about.
That as well,
basketball,
yes.
But it'll take a couple minutes. It won't be long.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So alrighty.
That is the show this week. So I think we're going to start with your bets, correct?
We are, yes.
All right.
So
give us the bet.
So before I talk about the one for this week, last week we lost on 2 of the legs out of 5. The Colts beat the Ravens, which what the hell? I know the Ravens had a lot of injuries,
yeah,
but
that's
still.
Insane.
You know, that one's just unlucky, I guess. And the other one, the Titans, I had them on the spread. The Titans are now banned from all bets. I will not touch the Titans in a game, period. Not even to just win or cover, not a game that they're involved in at all. I will not bet on it at all.
Oh,
they're banned.
Okay, I see.
Yes, they're banned.
Not even for them to lose?
Correct.
Okay.
They are banned officially.
Wow.
Yeah, everything else hit. We've had winning weeks every week, and I know all it takes is one to lose, but I'm saying more of the legs have hit than missed.
Each week you've
Correct.
gotten a little more.
We are pretty significantly above 500 for our picks, but we just can't string them all together. So
you did break your rule, though. I heard you said you were going to do one bet a week. And
yeah,
I do think that.
Well, it's going to be 2 this week. Yeah, I just wanted to put a Thursday one in.
No, but I thought it was excluding like you were going to do one Thursday and then like one bet for this show.
Oh, correct. So that didn't break the rules then.
Oh, I thought you did.
Is that what I said? I thought I was
hinted at that you might have broken the rules. Like I did a secret.
No.
Bet.
I can't remember if I said I'm going to do one Thursday, one Sunday, or just one Sunday. I can't remember.
That's okay.
Either way, I'm better than I was. No more big amounts or
no
several bets over and over.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, last week we couldn't get it done, but this week.
So what do we have this week?
Alrighty. First one. Patriots playing at the Cowboys. This line opened at 7, which I liked, and I was really hoping that it would move to 7.5, but it went down to 6.5. I really wanted that full touchdown. So I took an alternate spread, brought it up to 7.5. Did you know that that's a thing that you could do?
No.
So you have the spread of a game that's set, and you can adjust it, and the odds will change based on how you adjust it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like go not by Vegas? Like you make
Yeah, I mean the default is by Vegas, of course, and you
Right.
can move it a little bit, and like I
Oh, I
said, it will
didn't know you
change
could
the
do
odds.
that.
Yeah, and I wanted that touchdown to cover, so I just added that point on. I think the Patriots can win this game. I think they'll be competitive. The Patriots rarely get blown out.
Who is it against?
Dallas at Dallas.
Oh, oh,
So yeah, they're definitely not supposed to win this game, but
right.
I think it's possible the way that the defense is playing. Um, and again, I love getting the touchdown there, so don't have to win
Okay.
and can't
Yeah.
get killed. Basically, that's what we're looking at.
Right. Okay.
Feel pretty good about that. The second one, this is the one I'm nervous about. Ravens playing at the Browns. The Browns defense is on fire right now,
Yeah,
and
and
the Ravens are banged up.
your Ravens have not been very
They're 2 and
good
1.
to you.
They lose to the Colts. They haven't been impressive really. Against
Yeah,
Cincinnati, they were.
I guess I keep forgetting that there's only been 3 games.
It doesn't feel like there's been more.
Yeah.
It does. I'm nervous about this one simply because Browns defense has been playing so well, and like I said, the injuries for the Ravens are just amounting, and I haven't seen who's active for this game yet. I think Odell's out. Bateman may be out, so huge hit to the receiving core. A couple O linemen still questionable, and playmakers on defense questionable as well. So we'll see who plays, but it's going to be a divisional game. Both defenses good. You'd assume it's kind of low scoring, and in the end, I trust Lamar more than I trust Deshaun. So yeah, I don't know. It's not too often you get the Ravens as underdogs,
Hmm.
especially against a team that I think they are better than. So
Yeah,
why
I
not?
didn't expect the Browns to be doing as well as they are.
That's
To be
because they're on
honest.
Chris's team, and Chris just can't lose right now.
Apparently not.
Yeah, all 32. Not looking too good for me either.
Yeah, I
Bad
don't
week
even
last
want
week.
to talk about that.
But let's continue. Yeah, no, definitely not for your sake.
No, it's okay.
Next, Chiefs -9 at the Jets. The Patriots defense shut down the Jets, and the Chiefs defense is actually just as good as theirs. And then on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs offense just blows away the Patriots offense. And the Chiefs kind of found their rhythm on offense last week against maybe the worst team in the league. Poor
Right.
Bears.
It's okay.
Poor Bears.
It's okay.
And I just see no scenario where this isn't a blowout. I don't even think the Chiefs will need to score that many points to cover. They should be able to win by 10 plus pretty easily, even with the Jets at home. So I think that's close to a lock on that one. Next, I have Seattle beating the Giants on the money line in New
I like
York.
that one.
What's that?
I like that one.
Yeah, well, it's actually crazy because that game opened where Seattle was the underdog, and I was like, "What the hell? How is that possible?" Yeah, Seattle's just a better team, playing better right now. Couldn't pass that one up, and that's on Monday night, and that might be my survivor pick if I'm feeling ballsy enough. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep that on the radar. Next, I have the Vikings winning at Carolina money line. Vikings are 0-3, just as the Panthers are. But the Vikings still have hopes of contention. Their backs are against the wall here. They have to win. Bryce Young is playing, which makes me feel better. I would be more scared if Andy Dalton was playing. I think I said that last week in their game as well. Yeah, I think the Vikings are going to pull this one out pretty easily, as the odds say. And then, looky there. Look at the bottom, a little bonus. We're going to do 5 legs for the NFL, but I threw in the University of Pittsburgh beating Virginia Tech.
Oh. Oh, okay.
If there was a
I
line for
saw
this
Pittsburgh,
game,
but I thought it was Steelers, but I guess it
no,
doesn't say Steelers.
no,
It
it's
says
Pitt.
Pittsburgh.
If there was a line for this game, maybe there wasn't. I didn't see it like weeks back before the season started. Pitt would probably be favored by like 3 touchdowns, and now it's close to a pick 'em. Djokovic might not play. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. Their starting quarterback, he's been bad, but he
has.
played great towards in the beginning of last game, and then he got hurt. So, regardless of who's playing quarterback, I think Pitt is just a much better team, and they should win that game, no problem. So I threw that in as a bonus. Like I said, we're going to try to keep it at 5 legs in the NFL. But hey, if I see a college game that I really like, or I see Pitt
Yeah,
with
if
a
there's
good
Pitt,
deal
you
to
know.
win,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw it in.
Go Pitt.
So yeah, and I want to say I ran into an old friend at the gym a few days ago, and he said, and I know he's going to be listening to this, he said he's a big fan. And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And he said, "Oh, I also been tailing some of your bets." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, because we haven't
Yeah.
been hitting at all." But I
Don't
got
call
you.
it- Don't.
You know who you are.
Tell.
Tail this one. This is going to be the one. I'm telling you. Telling you.
Okay. It's a
So-
bold statement.
It is. It is. But I know I say I feel good every week, but I mean,
Yeah.
this might be the one.
Okay.
Do you believe
Well,
in it?
yeah.
Is there one where, or two, or more, where you're
I'm a
just like,
little
I don't know about
surprised
it?
you bet on the Vikings. That's kind of odd.
Vikings, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. They kind of. I just don't like them.
Just untrustable. It's the Vikings.
And you bet on the Chiefs to win.
I
How
did that
dare
last
you?
week too,
I
or
know.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks in a row. How dare you? I
Well, it's
mean,
the Jets. I hate the
yeah,
Jets
yeah,
too,
yeah.
so
True,
whatever.
true. But more than the Chiefs.
Yeah, but I'm using my head. I'm not
Fair
betting with
enough.
my heart. I'm betting with my head. So
Yeah, I guess I do the opposite.
yeah.
But
Well,
it's worked for Thursdays so far because I am 0-4 or 4-0.
there you go.
What I don't know. I don't know the order. I haven't got one wrong yet. Okay.
Good.
Knock on wood.
I have gotten one, but
That's okay.
yeah.
Because of the Vikings, and you bet on them again.
Oh
Just
shit,
saying.
you're right.
I
If
don't
that's
know.
the one that takes me out, I'll be so upset. I was thinking about them for Survivor too,
The
but I just
Vikings?
yeah. Imagine trusting the Vikings to that extent. I don't know if I can do
I
that.
mean, you got to pick them at some point, right?
No, I don't. For Survivor?
I guess not. Yeah.
No, I don't.
I
I don't
thought
have
it
to.
was called Knockout. I've just
It's the
recently
same
heard
thing,
it called
Survivor
Survivor,
Knockout.
but
Yeah.
I like it Knockout.
You like
better.
knockout better? All right, I'll only
Yes.
refer to it as knockout on the show.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the betting.
Sweet.
Yep. So what's
how
next?
much to win? How much?
I'm gonna. What did I do? 10? Yeah, I did a 10 bonus, so I'll win like $322.
Nice.
Yep.
I hope you win.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's what do you have in store for us?
This is a very, very quick segment. It's going to take a minute max every week, but I think it's freaking hilarious. And it's not just going to be in the moment. Like, I'm going to dig back years, months to
Right.
find just gold.
Right.
For those of you who know, Mr. Justin Usaman is going to make the show every
Our
week.
favorite
Um,
person ever on
yeah,
planet Earth, I think.
This tweet here, he commented on the Celtics post on Twitter with Deuce and Tatum in the background. And can you read what that says? I'm blind. Oh, when I get back, because he lives in Texas now, he says, when I get back,
Right.
I'm going to play your dad in a basketball game.
Oh,
He's
at
like talking to Deuce,
talking
yeah.
to Deuce.
Me versus your
As
dad
if
right
Deuce
now.
is the one that tweeted that.
Yeah, I know.
It's
And
just
there's a lot of people aren't going to know who he
He's
is. So
how old is he? Like 2?
Deuce like 5 or 6.
He's like trash talking a 6-year-old.
For those that know who Justin is, this is hilarious, and we're gonna put some gold on here.
For those who don't know who Justin Usman is, I'm sorry.
Pretty
That's all I
much.
can say.
And we
He's
can't
too
even
much to explain.
we can't even put an
I know,
accurate
he's too
description
much
on it.
to explain.
Yeah.
If you feel like go following his Twitter, you might get a better idea of who he is.
When he comes
you'll
back.
see it through here. Yeah.
What if we get him on here?
That
would do
be-
it.
I don't even know. What
You've never met him before.
I've never met him.
Wow.
I think I would like combust if he was on this. Like absolutely insane.
He would provide a lot. I think it would be a hit show.
I think I could take the back seat. I think it could be just him.
We'll keep it on the radar.
My God. Would he do it?
Probably. He would do anything like just to hang out with
Crazy.
me or Charles or anyone.
Oh,
So yeah, that's
his
the
best
Justin
friends.
tweet of the week. It's a
Yeah, we'll be having those.
little tiny
because-
segment that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. When I get back,
He's
I'm
playing Jason
your
Tatum
dad.
1-on-1.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. So a year ago, almost.
Well, I thought basketball was next, no?
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Because speaking of basketball, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, because Tatum. Yeah,
Because of
yeah.
Tatum.
Big news came out, and we haven't discussed basketball yet on the show. I'm going to keep this quick. But I figured for the first basketball segment, I will say that I think basketball is probably my favorite sport and what I feel like I'm most knowledgeable about. And I'm very excited to start talking about it next month when the season starts.
Crazy.
But yeah, huge news
See,
broke.
Basketball doesn't really start for me until football ends. I don't really get into it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Even like the fact that it's on like feels wrong sometimes. Like it'll be on the TV and I'm like, this just isn't right.
Really?
Like it's like winter. I don't know. I need it to be.
What about when it's on in Christmas time?
Okay, yeah, Christmas, yes.
Right?
Christmas for sure.
So maybe
Definitely
that's when
Christmas.
the season starts?
Yeah, I think that's when it starts because that's when like football is like. Is the season over technically around Christmas? Or they
The
still
regular
have...
season's winding down. They usually end around New Year's.
Oh,
Playoffs are through
okay. So
January.
yeah, it's basically it's like, all right, we're ready for like playoffs, but like you're right, basketball during Christmas is like cozy.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yep.
But I don't know, like sometimes it takes me a while to get into basketball, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's also filler because you have 4 days during the week. Yeah, 4 days during the week where there isn't football. So just throw in a
See, that's
basketball
what I
game.
like about basketball is that like you every other day there's usually like a game on that you can watch.
Right.
Like I don't like having to wait a whole week for football. I like
Yeah.
being like, oh, what's on tonight, and then just like having it on in the background. I mean, I
Right.
don't even have to watch it. But
But that's a pro about football is because since it only is once a week, every game is so urgent, so
exciting.
big, you
Yeah.
know. So that's what football has going for it.
But anyways, what happened in basketball
Yeah,
this week?
so the Portland Trail Blazers own, well not own anymore. Damian Lillard got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks to join Giannis.
I love both of them. So
You love Dame too?
I do remember when we went
We
to Portland, we saw them play.
Yep. Yep. We went to Oregon, was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2018. No, yeah, it
19.
was.
It was 19.
Yes, 2019.
So March of
5
2019, so
years
4.5
ago?
years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, we went to the Trailblazers arena and saw Damian Lillard drop 50 points in a loss. They did lose.
That was a crazy game.
It
Though.
was.
It was their rival.
Yes, OKC when
Yeah.
Westbrook and Paul George were there. It was great. But yeah, huge trade. No one really saw this coming. It was kind of Miami or bust. That's what was in
He
the
wanted
news.
to leave though, for sure.
Yes, and it was mutual. Like the Blazers just drafted his position, a point guard, with the second
Mhm.
overall pick. So they're already trying to transition out of the Dame years. He's getting
Right.
older and doesn't really fit their timeline. They kind of want to reboot, retool with
Right.
younger players.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, where now
He
I'm off
went
track.
to Giannis,
Yes,
which no one saw coming.
yes, no one saw it coming. Everyone thought he would go to Miami, as did I. And Dame even came out and said, "I have one team on my list, and it's Miami." Even though I suspect that he probably did have a couple second, third, maybe even fourth
He
choice.
does
But
seem like a Miami kind of guy. I
yeah,
feel like he'd fit in well with them.
mm-hmm.
Now that I think about it.
He's going to another small city in Milwaukee. And it's a great basketball fit, I must say. But my first reaction was I got a text that said he was traded, and I didn't know the details of it yet. So I was like, okay, that's obviously a great pairing, but they must have just given up everything to get him. So I was like, this smells of desperation a little bit. But after looking into the deal, they gave up Drew Holiday, who's a great player, but I would take Dame. They gave up Grayson Allen, who's okay bench piece, and draft picks in later years, which you hope Giannis is still playing for you, and you hope you're still contending, so those picks won't be too good. They'll be towards the end of the
In
round.
later years, like they can. How many years ahead can they give you the
Uh,
draft picks for?
I actually don't know, but the ones for this trade were 2028 and 29, I believe.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah,
That
it might
far
be
in
like 7
advance?
years in advance. Yeah, I don't know.
I did not know you could do that.
Mm-hmm. You
Wow.
can. But yeah, Dame is coming off a career high, 32 points per game, coming off one of the best years of his career. This will be the first time in his career. Well, no, I guess when he's playing with Aldridge in his earlier days, but first time in a while that he's going to be the second option on a team. So yeah, after thinking it was desperate, I realized that the Bucks really didn't give up that much, and we're gonna have to see how they fill out the rest of the roster. But even still, I mean, the team looks pretty good. That top three, if Middleton comes back strong, Giannis, Lillard, Middleton, pretty damn good. And of course, you still got Lopez holding down the paint.
Oh,
Um,
I do not like him.
no, we hate Lopez.
Mm.
Hate Lopez. So yeah, I mean the Bucks are gonna be good. They have catapulted to the top of the betting chain. They
Mhm.
have the best odds to win the title. Which before I would guess, I'm not 100% sure, they're around like fourth or fifth, maybe even worse than that. So this really skyrocketed them up. Um, can they win? Of course. I think the Celtics still have a chance, and
But
that brings me.
what were you saying about Drew? The
Well,
rumors.
yes. Well, he is in Portland right now, and we suspect that he won't be there for long. Same kind of deal. They traded away an older point guard. Why would they want to keep one right now?
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to be traded. The Celtics are the betting favorite to land him.
That'd be crazy.
So yeah, that's what I was going to bring up next is what this means for other teams. Already kind of talked about the Bucks. They are. I don't even know if I'd consider them the title favorite. Maybe not too mad at it. I wouldn't necessarily put money on it, But anyways, the Bucks are more formidable than they were yesterday or 2 days ago before the trade happened. What this means for the Heat, just desperate, not good. They were pretty sold that they were going to get Dame, and Jimmy Butler went on social media and said, you got to look at the Bucks for tampering, which is like talking behind the scenes illegally, trying to get Dame on the team. Which
Oh,
he was,
really?
I seemed, it looked like he was kidding, but even still, he looked salty as hell. Like he was pretty convinced that he was coming as well.
Wow.
Major
Then he
letdown for
does
the
need a
Heat.
little bit of help.
Yeah. Maybe they can get Drew. They're in the mix for to get him as well. So that would help. He'd be a good fit there. Good defensive player. But the Heat are just devastated. Really stinks for them. The Celtics, as I was kind of getting to, Drew would be perfect fit. Brogdon, there's some weird things going on with him because he was literally traded away and then not. So he's like, you guys just tried to give me away. Why would I want to be here?
Right, because that was going to be him instead of Marcus
Smart.
Smart, right?
That's what it was supposed to be. So it definitely has to rub him the wrong way.
Which fair. Because also I'm mad because now he all of a sudden can be traded, and we could have kept
Exactly.
Smart, and I don't like that.
Exactly. And the names that are going out there are him and Robert Williams, which is kind of sad, but it's like
No,
the man can't stay healthy, so what are you going to do?
no.
But I think the Celtics should pull the trigger if the Trailblazers are down for that. I think Drew would just...
But not for Rob.
No, I mean, you get more size with Porzingis, and size was a major concern last year. You still want to keep Rob, of course, but if it's at the cost of Drew Holiday, I think you do it. I think he'd be a perfect fit. And for the West, it lessens the chance of a fluke coming out of the East. Let's be real, Miami was a fluke last year.
Right.
Bucks were a better team, Celtics were a better team. They just scrapped and fought and were a harder playing team than those two. So whoever comes out of the West, whether it's the Lakers, Denver, Phoenix, whoever, they're going to get either the Celtics or Milwaukee, and I feel confident in that. So heavy hitter coming out of the East for the West. So it puts the whole league on notice and shakes up the league a lot because you have the Drew factor as well. So
Right.
really interesting stuff.
Right,
But
because he was in the West.
yes, he was. Now he's come East.
Now
Yep.
it's-
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, that's the Dame news, kind of my spin on it, and yeah, really looking forward to the NBA season.
Yeah. Exciting.
Any more NBA comments, or we
No,
already move
that
on?
was all. Yeah, that was all.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
All I had to say.
Now we can talk about the marathon.
Yes.
I
Sorry to
jumped
interrupt
ahead.
you there.
No, I did
also.
jump ahead.
I just thought it was in the plan to.
No, that made more sense. You were correct.
Okay.
I just jumped ahead. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, approximately a little less than a year ago, we both ran our first marathon in Cape Cod, the Cape Cod Marathon. And yeah, so it's been almost a year since we ran our marathon. And now here we are.
October 2nd,
Yeah,
same day as my parents' anniversary, which is pretty cool.
right. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what exactly did you want to say about it?
I don't know. It's just I could say a bunch of things, but I guess I don't know. It's just crazy. Like thinking about last summer, how we were training for so long,
Mm-hmm.
like so long. It was like the longest summer ever because all we did was train.
Mm-hmm. What month did we start?
We started
May?
right after. Yeah, we started right after Memorial Day because we ran that like half marathon before we went away.
That's
on
right.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
and then
true.
When we came back from that, that's when we started training.
Remember, we were like, shit, we have to double this in 3-4 months, whatever.
I was dying.
It was tough.
It was like a humid day too.
Mhm.
Like very, very, very humid.
Mm-hmm.
I was dying. If you told, I remember I like kind of panicked a little. I was like, no way I can double that. I was dead.
Yeah,
But we did it.
we did it. We absolutely did.
Would you ever do another?
I go back and forth. I think me, the person, wants to. Me, the body, doesn't.
Yeah, your body does take a toll on you. I'm trying to think of another word that's not weak because your body's not weak, but it's very fragile. That's a good one.
Fragile.
Yeah.
That's a nicer way to say it.
You're very fragile.
Yeah, and you and I both are around the same mileage per week, 20, 25, maybe towards 30 if we're feeling good. And I feel the effects bad, so I don't know if I could put myself through that kind of training again.
I just don't have the time. It's just so like, I don't know how people do Boston, because let me tell you, we would train over the summer because it was in October. So we had daylight and nice weather to train for. And like people for Boston, if it's in April, they have to train in the winter where there's no daylight and it's cold.
And you
And
might
people
have to do
work
some
till
long
like
ones.
5.
Yeah, might have to do the treadmill. In all
My
honesty,
my coach that I work with for middle school, she did Boston, and she said she did a like 17-mile run on the treadmill.
that never,
Isn't that
never.
insane?
That's gross. What's the longest you ever gone on treadmill?
I think 7.
I
I don't
think
think
same.
I've done more than
Actually,
7.
might have been a 10. Maybe a 10. I can't remember.
I don't think I've done more than 7.
Mine might be 7
And
too.
I
But
think I've only done it like a handful of times, like maybe like 4 times I've done 7 miles on the treadmill.
and that's like your max. You're not going past that ever.
No, because no.
Although today we did over 5, and you said you could go forever.
Yeah, but I would get bored.
Yeah.
Like an hour. I think that's like enough. Like after that, I'm like, okay, there's no point of me running for like 2 hours on a treadmill. Like there's no point in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've done 7. Wouldn't recommend, but I have done it.
Treadmills are better sometimes. I've realized that I get less sore after running on treadmills than I do on the roads.
Well, yeah, because it's not the pavement.
Right.
Yeah, the woods is ideal.
I go through phases of the treadmill. Sometimes I like it better. Sometimes I don't.
Agreed.
It's just a battle.
What was your favorite part about the marathon?
The marathon itself, or just the whole journey?
I guess everything. Your favorite and least favorite part?
It's a tough question.
I know my least favorite was for sure
Oh,
training.
okay.
It was just such a pain. I would come home from work and then take a nap and then go out to run at like, because it was also hot and humid.
Yeah.
So I would have to go out to run at like 5 or 6, and then it would be like a 7-mile run.
Right.
It was just a pain. If I didn't have to do that, I would do another.
And it's not like you can probably wing a half marathon if you have a foundation of running, which we do. We could just go out and run 13. It would probably hurt, but we could do it right now, you know?
I think
26 you
Cassandra's
can't.
sister is doing the Cape Cod half marathon,
Mm-hmm.
like next weekend.
Yep. Yep.
So I think she's doing the half marathon version,
Yes. Good luck to you
which is awesome.
next week.
Yeah, go Cassidy. She's got it.
My favorite thing I would say was the run to New Hampshire.
That was
I enjoyed
fun.
that so much. So we started in Woburn and we ran all the way to Salem, New Hampshire through back roads. And it
Because
was
our longest run that we had to do. It was like the week before, 2 weeks before. No, not a week before. It was like 3 weeks
2 or
before
3.
the marathon.
Yeah,
So it was our longest. We had to do 19 miles or 20 miles or something.
something like that, yeah.
So we just ran it to New Hampshire.
And it was really cool when we were getting close to the border. It was like on this bike path.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And on the beginning of it, we were, what was it, Haverhill? I can't even really remember. But then you're running down this bike path, and all of a sudden you just start to see signs for Salem, New Hampshire. And we're like, holy shit, we're in a different state right now. We just ran to a different
we ran
state.
across state borders.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which honestly, I almost feel prouder saying than I ran a marathon. I ran to New Hampshire.
It is pretty cool.
Right?
It is pretty fun.
Yeah. That was my favorite. Least favorite, very, very specific time within the race.
What, mile 19?
Well, yeah.
That was terrible.
I'm going to try to narrow it down even more because that's when shit started to hit the fan bad and we went through walking periods. But just from, I think it was 22 to 24 maybe, or 25. I can't remember. But just the wind. So we were running on the beach or,
Yeah, it's in
across the
Falmouth.
street.
In Falmouth. So you're running by the beach quite often.
And they said the gusts were like, what, 40, 50 miles an hour?
I don't know, but it was raining and like, not raining, but it was just like windy. And it like looked like it was about to rain.
Yeah.
And it was cold. And we had to run by the water with the wind. It, like, you literally couldn't move. It was like, I remember being like bent over and you're like, I can't run. Like, this is just stupid.
Like we
weren't even in pain anymore. We were just like, we just want to finish, but we couldn't run.
Yeah. And I just remember saying to you, like, I do not want to run anymore.
Yeah,
I just don't want to.
You did.
Probably shed some tears.
I think my favorite part was like finishing, like, or like being around like realizing like, oh, we're going to do this.
Right.
Because like we told all of our friends, and we have some pictures actually. All of our friends came, our parents came. My mom and my aunt made signs, and like we like all like rented a house. It was just so fun. And like I remember when who was it? Tyler and Stefan were like running with us at the very end,
Yep.
like to the finish. Like, oh, that was just so cool. And I remember my dad was like filming with his phone, and he was like, "You're gonna do it. Like, it's right there." And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I remember I just saw him filming, and I was just so happy. I was like, "This is so cool."
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a text actually today that was like our finishing time,
4:14.
16,
14.
4:16.
4:14.
He sent it to me. It was 4:16.
No freaking way. It was
Yes.
4:14. I would bet anything on it.
No, Bill's video, I think it said 4:17, but he sent
Oh shit, you might be right.
and he sent it to me. It said 4:16 something.
Was the video really 4:17? I thought it was 4:14 this whole time.
No, 4:17.
Shit.
It was probably less actually, because my chip time says 4:16:04. So because of the starting, like, yeah, it probably was like changing to 4:17 because it's like always a little off, like just looking at the clock, you know.
Right.
'Cause you have to run up to
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
pretty good time, considering
It is.
what was our half split? We were flying through the first half
I
marathon.
could probably find it actually because I recorded it on my Apple Watch.
Ah.
So I have all of our splits basically. I think it's a little off. It's not exactly like dead
Yeah,
on,
but
but
it'll give us a rough idea. I want to say it was around like an hour and 45. Hour 40.
let's see.
You're going to have to dig back far
I
for
have
that,
it
no?
right here. I just have to find the.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
oh,
we
I
felt
only
so
have,
good, and then
I
for
have
whatever
our
reason,
like
mile
our
19.
split time. I don't have like the exact time, but when we hit mile 13, we were going 8:50
oh wow.
pace.
And does it say the slowest mile there? It was something insane. I think we walked the full mile.
13:44.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
Mile 24. That was when we were in the
Wind,
wind.
yeah. That's faster than I thought. I thought it was going to be like 16, 17, something
But
like
yeah,
that.
so we started out pretty like decent. Like our first mile 1 through 5 was like 9 minutes. And then we like started to do like miles 6, 7, 8, 9. It just kept going like fluctuating between like 8:50 and like 8:40. And then I remember this mile 16, 17 was like 9 minutes. And then 18 it was like 9:27. Mile 19 was 9:13. Mile 20 was 11:57. You really do hit a literal wall.
19.
Like I've never experienced that where it's like, oh no, I'm like hitting a literal wall.
Yeah.
And I cannot run anymore.
Well, you could. I really shut down.
Yeah.
I was really
and that was
questioning
the
if I would
hills,
finish on it.
too.
Huh?
The only part of the course with like hills, rolling hills,
Oh,
was the
God.
second part.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was like a figure 8. So like the first half was totally flat. You just go down and back.
Yep.
But yeah.
And and it was either before or after those hills we got those orange chews that revived us.
saved our lives.
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
burned like 3,000 calories, which that morning I probably only had like 200 max.
Yeah, don't take advice from us because you're definitely supposed to like eat every like hour or something. Aaron knows. I think it's like 45 minutes. Every 45 minutes, you're supposed to like have a snack
We
when
would
you're running.
get Gatorade cups, but
No,
no
like
food.
You're yeah, I know. You're not supposed to do that.
yeah.
We're like a bad example because I remember that's like a huge part of training is like fueling while you're running,
Right. Yeah, we never did that.
which
for
I was just
anything.
like foreign to because like I've never done that. So, but it's like huge, like very important. So like
Well, we made it without it, so.
yeah, we probably would have felt a little better if we did have though.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I still sometimes I'm like, I can't believe we did that.
Crazy, right?
It's amazing.
It is.
I love running like a lot. I don't think you understand how much I love it.
Mm-hmm. And it's been through phases, right? Sometimes throughout your life you hate it. Sometimes you love it.
Yeah, I started off hating it. My mom didn't force me to run, but she basically was like, you should do it. And I was like, I don't want to. And she was like, we have to do something. And I was like, okay. So I started running. And I remember like doing cross country. I was like, oh, I hate like the actual running part. Like I wanted to do like track and like do like the fun stuff, like high jump and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't good at it. So I was good at running and I just got better
And went to nationals.
twice.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm not that good anymore. No way. Not even close. Not even close. And it was with a team. I couldn't have done it individually. But
Well, we don't train for speed anymore, so it's
no, I
just
do
go
not.
out
I
leisurely.
never was good at speed. Never. But
But I mean, speed's a big thing in the mile, even.
yeah, and the 800, I guess.
Yeah.
Those are. But I was better at longer distance. Always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was good at the mile, but I wasn't like exceptional at it.
You're a cross country girl.
I am. Which like I don't know. For a little bit, I kind of hated running because I was just like I've just always done it my whole life. I was like forced to do it. But then when I started running on my own, I was like, wow, this is cool.
No pressure, just go out and do it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also liked having the marathon as like a goal for like something I want to do to like it motivated me to run because that's what I have problems with is the motivation.
Not so much anymore. I feel like you're kind of just routine with it now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't like it to be a chore.
Right.
That's when I don't like it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I really I do love it. I think my favorite part about it is that like when you go and see someone out on the street running, you're just like, wow, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like, oh well, like how fast are they going, or like, oh I like you have no idea how long they've even been running for.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were doing our like 13 mile, it's like someone could be like, oh they've run for 2 miles or like 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, we ran for 13, and just no one knows that.
It's such a unique experience.
It's
within
like
yourself.
yeah, it's like cool, and no one's ever like everyone that sees someone else running, they're like, oh good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I don't know,
And
I love it.
It builds community too,
I
and
love
runners all got something. You know what I mean?
know.
Like respect
now
mutual respect for each other.
All
is
of our
what's
friends
fun.
are starting to be runners.
I
Joelle's
know.
running more. Jess is killing it with
Seen
her
Jess
running.
with her 7 and 8 miles. Yeah,
She's
shout out to
killing
you.
it. I can't wait till she runs a half marathon. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be there. I want everyone to like love it. Erin runs too. Erin loves running.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Nick's been
always
hitting
trying
the
to get us
treadmill.
to go on runs with her on Sundays, but we always are.
Well, Nick's been hitting the treadmill, so maybe he'll start doing it again.
Yeah, we should go on runs on Sundays with
I would love
Sunday,
to.
a Sunday run day.
Yep, Luan's always down, of course.
I love running.
And good luck to Luan at the tournament this
Oh
weekend.
my God, yeah, in his jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah. If you're listening, buddy, good luck.
Good luck to Luan. Good luck to Cassidy. Good luck to everyone. Just go for a run this week. Just a mile or like a 5K. My dad told me, he goes, I think everybody can run a 5K.
Yeah,
Everyone.
of
And I was
course.
like, honestly, I think he's right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So just go run a mile and then eventually you'll run 5Ks.
I love it. Love
Yeah.
it. I wish we could keep going and going.
I know.
but
I know.
we're
I'm
short
getting a
on
little.
time.
I'm getting a little sidetracked.
It's
But
gonna.
that's okay.
I'm gonna fly through the top 10, but we could talk about running for hours. And
We'll do more running episodes
Most
for sure.
definitely.
But we just had to.
and our movie starts in 16 minutes, but actually 36 minutes. I think we can make it.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Okay,
It's fine.
but running's awesome. I
If you-
really love what you had
yeah.
to say there.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
So everyone go for a run this week. You'll
Love
love
it.
All right. Top 10, baby. Let's go.
Am I first?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Number one, no surprise, again, for the third or second straight week. I'm not sure. I got the 49ers. Took care of the Giants pretty easily. Again, looking like a freight train. Have them number one. Number two, the Dolphins. And I said that maybe the Dolphins got exposed by the Patriots a little bit, and could not be more wrong because they scored 70 points. The second most points in NFL history, I believe. The record
Wait,
was 72.
Dolphins?
They scored 70, yeah.
Against who?
The Broncos. You didn't know that?
Okay. No, I'll get into this when I go to my top 10.
Okay.
But I feel like I didn't watch any games this week. I know nothing about anything that happened.
Well, look forward to hearing your wisdom on it. Yeah, Dolphins second. Maybe that just shows how good the defense for the Patriots is, which very well might say that. Go Pats. Third, I have the Chiefs. Chiefs with a dominant win over the Bears. Looks like the offense is starting to click again. As we've been saying, every week the defense is the best that they've had in the Mahomes era, I would say. Certainly looks that way. Scary, scary team. Only improving. And T Swift in the stands, too. So,
Right.
4, I got the Eagles. Taking care of business against the Bucks. Again, offense not looking too impressive. Hurts threw a couple picks. Not really looking like his true self. Baker played an awful game. They won that game with defense. And we were concerned about the secondary, but held them to 11 points and created some turnovers against Baker. So I got the Eagles number 4. Number 5, I have the Bills. Bills beat the Commanders in blowout fashion. Your poor upset pick.
I know. I know.
Yeah, the Bills look like they're stringing it together again and becoming who they were for the past few years in the regular season. And there's concern, obviously, after week 1 when they lost to the Jets, but yeah, they look to be back. Although the quarterbacks that they've beaten to make their defense look like it's top five might be, but you beat Zach Wilson, Jimmy G, and Sam Howell. I don't know. We kind of got to see more, and they play the Dolphins this week, so we'll see how they look. Number 6, I got the Cowboys. Cowboys lost in a shocker to Arizona, 28-16. Why did I not pick that as my upset one? I would look like a genius. Too bad. Cowboys are still good, of course. You lose Trayvon Diggs, as we said, is a big deal. So we'll see how they play against the Patriots. Maybe my
Yeah, they
upset
really
pick.
moved
Spoiler.
down for you, huh?
Huh?
Cowboys really moved down.
Yeah, 4 spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Still a good team, but you lose against the Cardinals. Come on.
Yeah, that's
7, I
crazy.
have the Ravens. My Ravens lost to the Colts, as we talked about earlier in the show. Huge game at the Browns. Hopefully they can become victorious there. Fall to 2-2. That won't be too good because I need wins in 32. But Ravens still good if they're healthy. No concerns. That's the one concern is health. 8, I have the Lions. The Lions played 2 games since we last talked about them. They beat the Falcons, and then they blew out the Packers last night, which is quite impressive. A lot of people, including myself, said that would be a close game. It's exactly what I thought it would be, and nope. Off the bat, they took a stranglehold on that game. Defense played well, and we know what they can do on offense. 9, I got Seattle, new addition. Beat the Panthers 37-27. Seattle's just a good team, man. Young on defense and offense, and Geno, not so much offense, mostly defense, but Geno just continuing not to write back to the haters. Playing great, showing that last year wasn't a fluke. I'll be rooting for them a lot. I like Geno. I like that team. Have them number 9. And 10, the Steelers. I could have went Browns or Steelers here. The Patriots are no longer there. They won, but it was gross. They don't deserve to be. Steelers beat the Raiders. Defense is just elite and carrying them in games. Pickett really seems to be just an okay quarterback, and I'm really rooting for him, but there are concerns around him and his skill set and decision making. But did what he had to do, completed a nice pass on a deep ball to, forget the guy's name, Speedster, one of their fast receivers. But Steelers are winning games at 2-1 right now, but can't keep winning games through defense. Need the offense to get going. So, yeah, that's my top 10. Let's get to yours.
All right. Mine. Like I said, I honestly feel like I didn't watch any games this week, like at all. So I have no idea what I'm talking about at all. I put Lions at number 1 because I like them and they won and they're on a roll. So I just put them up at number 1. And also I was getting bored of the Cowboys, so I just put them down. 49ers I had at number 2 just because obviously they're still good. Yeah, they probably should go above the Lions, but I didn't really care. I like the Lions better. Cowboys 3. Yeah, Cowboys 3 again because I was getting bored of them. Bills number 4. Just because I think they are proving themselves a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting up there, so I moved them up. Then Chiefs at number 5, just because obviously they're good, but I still don't like them, so they're number 5. Eagles at number 6 because they're also really good. They probably should be higher, but I'm also just getting bored of them, so I moved them at number 6. Dolphins I had at number 7.
Wow, not higher.
Like I said, I don't know. I really didn't watch any games. I didn't really know like what the
70 points.
I know, I didn't know that. I would have put them higher if I knew that, but I don't know what happened to me last week. Did I just not watch a single game?
I guess not.
I don't think I did. So yeah, I think it's because I was working. But yeah, so I moved them down. But they definitely should be higher up if they scored 70 points. But so that's wrong. But it's too late now. It's already there. I also added the Steelers. I don't really have any reasoning behind any of this.
Keep going. I need to grab him.
Yeah. Okay.
Be right back.
But yeah, I added the Steelers because I don't know. I like their team, and they're doing a good enough job. But I did Pats at number 9, which technically is moving up from last week because I still believe in them. completely. So they're staying at number 9. They're still in my top 10. I don't care.
That's crazy. You have the Pats on there.
I
I had to take. I felt worse about that win than I thought.
I also
the
didn't watch
losses.
that game. I just did it because they won. That's
Whoops.
why. Ooh, I just did it because they won. So I was like, okay, that's a plus.
Fair enough.
And then I put Ravens at 10 because I don't think they don't deserve to be on the list, but, there they are.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
And
I
perfect
think
timing.
It's time for our guest.
We have your seat over on the left side, far left side.
Yeah, here, I'll scoot over for you, Bill.
Please welcome in the one and only Bill Scott III.
So it's not the one and only.
Yeah, true. He's one of 3.
He's the third one.
Just throw those headphones on and just talking to the mic a little bit. Make sure you can hear yourself.
Hey.
Can you hear yourself?
Does it make sound when you're talking
How you
it?
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Well, you'll hear yourself.
I'm not in the headset.
That's
You don't
okay.
have to.
You won't.
Okay.
Okay,
You won't.
perfect. Welcome in to my father.
Woo.
We're going to ask him a little bit about the Red Sox. We haven't gotten to the Red Sox at all on the show because I stopped watching them about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So, yeah, I just kind of want to get your take on the season, really, and, what your expectations were going into the year. Did they meet them? Did they not? What do you think?
Yeah, I got some opinions on that. But first of all, let me just say thanks for having me.
Of course.
I love the show.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I'm a little biased
Oh, I don't know how.
because I love the host and the co-host. And plus, I own the studio, so.
You should have said
I ought to
introduce
be the
yourself a
first
little bit.
guest.
What's that?
I ought to be the first guest.
Yes. And I couldn't have chosen a better one. I was telling them earlier that, and I don't know, I hope I didn't make this up. You kind of had ambitions as a radio person.
Maybe not personally, but I've been told by many people that I should have been on the radio. I have a radio voice. I don't have a face for TV, but maybe a voice for radio.
And they said you should be like calling Celtics games. Could be a broadcaster or something like that too.
Well, that's
Maybe.
crazy because they say the same thing about Justin, and also he calls every single play that is on the TV that the
Oh, yeah.
broadcasters also
Yep.
announce.
Chip off the old block.
Yeah, sorry I didn't say like, oh, this is my dad. Tell the audience about yourself. I just
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of
you did.
threw a
No
Red
worries-
Sox question
no
at you.
worries at all. So I'll answer your question
Okay.
about the Red Sox. I had low expectations going in, so I wouldn't say that I wasn't set up for disappointment. However, I have been a Red Sox fan since I was 7 years old, since I can remember. Really kind of reeled in during the 70s and never let go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always kind of living and dying with them. And even though I had low expectations for them, of course they reeled me in like in mid-August or so when they were 3.5 or so out.
Yep.
And I thought, hey, maybe something crazy is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And, it didn't happen.
Right.
It went the other way.
And what we were talking about last night, I told you the turning point was a game that we went to.
That's right. Yeah, we went to a big series against the Blue Jays in July, was it? Maybe?
Late July or
Late
early
July.
Is
August,
that the
around
nice
there.
seats? The
Yeah.
nice seats?
And, they had to do well because the Blue Jays were, right in front of us. And we could have leaped over them with a good showing that series. And we got swept. And we had already owned the Blue Jays at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I think we might have even been undefeated.
Yeah, 7-0, 8-0, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And they smoked us. And but I always have the memory of that game. Even though they lost, my takeaway was Justin had a parlay for that game, and if I remember correctly, Yoshida had to have a hit,
Yep.
Devers had to have a homer,
Yep.
and the Sox had to win.
Yes.
And in the third inning, I remember Yoshida got his hit,
Yeah.
so we were like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the same inning, Devers hit went out, and we went nuts. We were like, here we go, baby.
Yep. Yep.
And it was nip and tuck the whole way. They ended up being down by 2 going into the ninth. They had a little rally. They scored a run, I think, to make it 5-4.
They did.
And then they lost in spectacular fashion.
Do you remember who the base runner was?
I do remember. So they had man on first and second still with 1 out, and McGuire was on second, and Connor Wong was up, and he hit what looked like
It was
a
gone.
shot from our angle
Looked like it was gone.
to, what's that?
It looked like it was gone.
That's right. It looked like a shot from our angle. We were like first base line up, and I was, instead of starting to track the ball, I was tracking the center fielder, and it was to left center field, and I saw the center fielder kind of hold out his hand to the left field, and I was like, damn, he's catching that ball. And then I thought to myself, all right, so we have 2 outs, we still got a shot. And after he caught the ball, he looked up, and McGuire was already around third.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
What the hoover?
But it wasn't an easy catch, if I remember correctly. He kind of jumped and caught at the
He
wall.
was there. He, right at the wall.
Yeah.
He had to jump up for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was disappointing, but entertaining. And so, as far as the Sox go, I did not have high expectations, so I wasn't overly disappointed how they ended up.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I don't want them to end up in last place, 3 out of the last 6 years or something like that?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was more common than that. I thought it was it 3 in a row? No.
I don't think it's 3 in a row, but I don't know, it could be. I thought it was 3 out of the last
You could be right.
5 or something
Yeah,
like that.
you could be right.
But, I feel like they have good young players. Abreu, Casas,
Mhm.
Duran,
And
this
that's
new
the kid that they just brought up recently.
Rafaela.
Yes.
Yeah, I just watched him. He just scored from third on a tapper back to the mound. He just took off and he scored.
Mm.
So they're about to beat the mighty Orioles unless they blow up in the ninth. But yeah, they have good young players, but that's not enough. They need starting pitching.
Mhm.
And they need defense. That's not a news alert or anything that you need starting pitching and defense to win championships. But
Yeah, well, I assume going to this year, you said you didn't have high expectations, but I'm sure there was a sense of optimism. And this year, or next year, I guess, we hopefully have a fresh face in the front office. So hopefully that can be a spark to get some of that starting pitching and other needs that you were talking about.
yeah, I agree. We got a new GM or whatever they call him, president of baseball operations. And
Yep.
hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Cora gets kicked up there and they get a new manager.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I think they need some freshness. in that regard.
I agree. And you're saying Cora might do some of the hunting for a new coach, which I think he'd be pretty good at. I'm sure he has some good ties in the league. So
Yep, true. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So the outlook on them next year's a little bit better, you'd say? We got to see how the
Sure.
offseason plays out.
Hope springs eternal. Every year that the Sox start out, I think, hey, this is the year.
Well, they've consistently won World Series every 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah,
So next year we'll be going on 6, so maybe we're due.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
Doesn't help that the division's amazing too, so.
yeah, that's true. Yep.
And I don't think those teams are going anywhere next year as well. So,
The teams that finished up top, you mean?
well, in our division, just
Right.
every other team.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Tampa always has a good team somehow, some way. They figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore is young and strong. Jay's got some really good players.
Mm-hmm.
And, F the Yankees. Hopefully they.
Of course. So I had 2 more questions. I guess I'll do one first, but what you just said right there reminded me of a possible answer of yours to one of my questions, but I'll keep it to the original plan. So I want to ask, and I know you've been to so many awesome games throughout the years with me and before I was even born. What are 2 sporting events, or 3, if you can think of 3, that really stand out to you as like the best ones that you've ever been to?
Yeah, good question. Immediately the mid-'80s Celtics come to mind.
Yep.
As I went I had a connection that had two sets of season tickets, and I was offered season tickets. I was offered those tickets for every playoff game in 1984. And so I went to pretty much every playoff game in 1984,
Wow.
Crazy.
except the seventh game when they beat the Lakers.
Why didn't you go to that one?
I had pneumonia.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
pneumonia.
not-
I tried to crawl out of my house, and my father grabbed me by the back of the shirt and said, "Nope, I'm not going anywhere." But anyway, I saw a lot of good games that year. But '86, when they beat Houston, I was at the championship game. So that's a big memory for me.
Was Hakeem on the team then?
Say again?
Hakeem, was he on the team?
No, that was Moses.
Oh, okay.
Moses was there then. Moses Malone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was one I think that I could never forget. That's the only championship game that I've ever been to. Been to a bunch of Pats games that were pretty exciting. A bunch of Sox games that were pretty exciting, and I'd probably say in 1985, I think it was, I was at the game when the Red Sox clinched the East, which was a big deal because they had not won anything, for a lot of years.
Right.
So I was at that game with Chili Burke.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really exciting, that game. And people were going nuts outside of Fenway like we had won the championship.
Right. Right.
So
Crazy.
those two things really stick out. I've been to some other games. That game that I went to in '86 with that I went with Jill,
Mm-hmm.
and we stuck around at the very end. We went out into the hallways of the old Boston Garden, and that was back when the MVP of the series would be taken out of the locker room and walk down the hall to another room to be interviewed. And people were just jumping up and down, and I turned around and I saw Larry Bird coming towards me with a couple of guards around him, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I lunged through the guards and hugged Larry by the waist, and he was patting me on the head before the two guards picked me up and threw me across the room. I looked across the hall, and Jill was jumping up and down with M.O. Carr in the middle of the crowd.
Wow.
So I'll never forget that whole experience.
Yeah, it's just so many stories that my dad has, just insane ones, and that's only one of them. And you'd say, how could it be crazier than grabbing Larry Bird by the waist and having him pat you on the head? But believe me,
Insane.
he's done some crazy, crazy things, and we will definitely bring you on again to share some of those because they're just quite unbelievable, honestly. I'm like,
Yeah.
just can't even believe that you experienced those things.
Yeah. Stuff like that doesn't happen too often. Not too much today. You can't even get close to,
Oh, yeah, God, no.
Not even
that.
close.
right?
God, no.
Wow.
And even back then, that surprises me that you just were literally able to touch Larry
Yeah.
Bird.
Just right place, right time.
How did the guards not snap your neck?
They just kind of picked me up and threw me across the room.
Totally
It was worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. And as I said, I mean, his stories just go back and back years and just so many cool things, and we'll get him on again. If you want to come on again.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I thought you had another question for me, no?
I do. And this one's a little on a personal level, not sports related.
Okay.
And when I said it reminded me of this because I was going to ask you, what's the most disappointed you've been in me
Oh, boy.
and the most proud that you've been of me?
Crap. No.
But when
I
you're
shouldn't have asked that if you have another question for me.
But when you said something about the Yankees, oh, you hate the Yankees, I was thinking like when I don't even know how old I was, but that can't be your answer. I put a Yankees hat on his head, like went up from behind. I was a little kid, and I just threw a Yankees hat on his head, and he turned around like he was literally going to murder me.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
I was killed him right in the store.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess you stole my thunder for the most disappointed, I guess. No.
I wouldn't be surprised, but no, I'm sure there's a
That
long
was,
list.
yeah, I mean, I think then and there you realized the built-in distaste
Yeah.
for all things New
Yes.
York Yankees.
Yes. That's when it truly hit me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
serious.
'Cause there's a lot of scars that created that moment from when I was younger all the way up to that point. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, most disappointed. That's hard to answer. I'm just going to leave it at that because, you know, there's nothing that I could really say because I'm just very proud to be your dad.
Good answer.
You know,
Aw.
so proud. There's just too many moments on the other side to say the most proud because the list is lengthy. I would just say becoming the young man that you are and the focus that you have and the passion that you show for things that you love. That's what makes me most proud.
Thank you. You're the bomb. I thought you were going to say, oh, that time you crashed through the fence, that time you snuck in the shed at night.
Yeah, those things pop into my head, but those kind of things happen when you're growing up. Believe me, my list is probably worse than that.
And the older I got, the less scared I got to make mistakes because, yeah, I just started to be smarter about my decisions and trying to, feel out how you guys worked as parents. And I feel like once I got older, we kind of established like a friendship almost in a certain way. Obviously, we're father and son. We have that relationship, but we really have become friends in the past 5+ years. So yeah, it's just really made me a better person in the end. So
Good.
I couldn't have asked for better parenting to
Good.
follow up on that.
Good. I'm glad you feel that way. That's the evolution of, parent-child kind of thing. You hope it evolves into being best friends.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right.
We drink every weekend together and party. It's great. Dance in the kitchen.
You have any questions for me, Steph?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You sure?
I feel like I'm interrupting.
Yeah, we're just in the
Special
middle of the
moment
father and
going
son
on
talk.
here.
We're just like getting super emotional and just right there in the middle.
I'm enjoying it though.
Cool. Well, I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable with that question. When's the most disappointed? When's the most? But
No, I felt like I handled it okay.
I agree. I agree.
All right.
Well done.
Alrighty. We said this is going to be the shortest episode, and it is
The longest.
by far the longest. So,
That's okay.
but I think well worthwhile. A lot of good content on today, and of course, our guest. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Hey, love you both.
Cheers for Bill.
Any final words before we close out?
No, I would just say, keep doing what you're doing. I love the show, and I feel like it's your audience is just going to continue to grow, and who knows where else it will go beyond that.
Mhm.
You have a great connection, and I love the content, love listening to you guys, and I know not to bet whatever you bet.
Good way to end it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We love you all. Thanks for the support. Not just sports.